We can now bring you more reactions to the planned arraignment of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onnoghen. Governors earlier spoke about how strongly they feel about the planned arraignment of the Chief Justice. There's been a barrage of reactions, though, since the news broke on Saturday, and the reactions are as varied as they can be. From the body of lawyers, the NBA, to senior lawyers, and indeed politicians. In this next report, our correspondent, Oluwa Shonibare, highlights some of the reactions that have trailed the announcement.
Thin ice. That is how many have described the escalating controversy involving the Chief Justice of the Federation, Walter Onnoghen, over accusations of non-declaration of assets. Statements have been released by several bodies and individuals, each making points for and against the case. For those pitching tents with the CJN, like members of the Nigerian Bar Association, whose collective voice called the treatment an assault on the judiciary. The body is accusing the federal government of jumping the gun of facts presentation before the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Another group raising eyebrows is the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room. Its concern is with the timing of the charges, coming 4 weeks to the 2019 general election. This, the group says, will be damaging to Nigeria and its electoral processes. For individuals on the side of the Chief Justice, like Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Chief Afebe Babalala, the manner in which the CJN is being arranged cannot be justified. Chief Babalala also insists that without a majority of 2/3 in the Senate, following a letter of removal by the President, the case holds no water. This is backed by another prominent lawyer, Femi Falana, who sees the entire matter as ill-advised and calls on the federal government to pull the plug on the plan. Also lending his voice is elder statesman Chief Edwin Clark, who believes there's a lot more to the planned trial than meets the eye.
It is very clear from the law, from the Constitution, third schedule, that when such a report is made and a breach is reported, that breach will be investigated by the Bureau.
However, the ruling All Progressive Congress sees no reason for the hues and cries over the trial of the CJN. The party believes the law should be allowed to take its course and even goes ahead to berate the PDP, which had also condemned the move. As far as the APC is concerned, President Muhammadu Buhari remains uncompromising in his determination to rid the country of corruption, which formed part of his electoral promises. These are certainly interesting times for the country. And as the case unfolds, it is one that will be keenly watched to know who has been right or wrong all along. Oluwa Shonibare, Channels Television News.
We're in Lagos now. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Imoemi Edgell, has been redeployed and replaced by Acting Commissioner of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun. Mr. Edgell is expected to resume as the Commissioner of Police in charge of Explosive Ordnance Unit at the Force Headquarters, Abuja. Before his redeployment, Mr. Egbetokun was in charge of Police Anti-Bomb EOD Command. Security challenges are being experienced in Nigeria's north-central geopolitical zone, particularly in Kaduna State, can be traced to a culture of impunity by past governments. That's according to the Kaduna State Governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. He told Channels Television's Ladi Akeredolu on our political program, Roadmap 2019, that his government's investigations show that many of the same people have been involved in various incidents that will now be made to face a full wrath of the law.
People have used religion in this state to gain undue advantage. They have used ethnicity to get ahead of others that are better than them because, I am a victim. You have to, treat me. And so this is what we had to fight. So there is that class of problems. Of course, there is a third class of problems in which, it's a general problem across Nigeria. The fact that we do not have enough policemen, we don't have enough civil defense, we don't have enough footprint of authority over the state. But one thing that we're doing that is different from other administrations was we've never set up a commission of inquiry on any of these crises because we understand them. They are after reading the reports, we realize that they are the same reasons, and some of the names feature in every commission of inquiry. And we've decided now, since there is no statute of limitation on crimes, we're going to prosecute all those named. Okay, we've set up a special investigation and prosecution unit in the governor's office with representatives from Ministry of Justice, the police, the SSS, to go into history, dig and investigate and bring all those to justice.
You can watch more on the interview with the Kaduna State Governor on Roadmap 2019 at 9 p.m. right here on Channels Television. To politics now, 4 political candidates have been speaking on what Lagosians can expect if given the chance to rule the state. The candidates of the All Progressives Congress, Action Democratic Party, Alliance for Democracy and the People's Democratic Party spelled out their plans in a televised debate organized by the platform of the Covenant Christian Church. The candidates of the All Progressives Congress, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, reiterated the need for capacity development for teachers and better infrastructure in schools.
As commissioner for ESTAP, I was training over 1,000 teachers every year. Is to look at the capacity development of these teachers. The schools that are training them out, that is the training institutes, the teachers training schools, what are the curriculums that they are giving out to them? So let's look at the capacity development for these teachers. Then we take it back to the infrastructure that we need to have at this primary school. Are they teaching them civics? Are they teaching them things around even religious studies? Because a whole lot of things that happen around us, and we need to nib it at that stage where they're still very formative. So we need to begin to think through things around creative learning from that place. Coding, we need to think through evolving the curriculum so that it switch to the reality of what the 21st century should be looking at. So beyond training, beyond capacity development of the teachers, is also to look at the infrastructure, building up those schools, right? And very well is to look at what are the additional things post schools that they need going into the secondary schools. So we build the both layout of the financing. We look at how much are we putting on budgetary line on the education, which is about 8.7. Can we wrap it up to about 12, right? And push more effort in the primary school, in teachers, in the teaching colleges that they are coming out from, in the facilities that are in the school, and by extension also evolving the suburb and the curriculum in that level.
Mr. Babatunde Gbadamosi of the Action Democratic Party believes the present traffic being experienced across the Lagos metropolis can be controlled. He plans to upgrade Lagos infrastructure alongside his 4 key projections.
Barges to lift containers from the actual wharfs and take them to lighter terminals all around Lagos. Take them to lighter terminals all around Lagos. And then, thirdly, the devolution of powers. It's time we started this discussion about restructuring Nigeria. And the port, being in Lagos, and us losing that much revenue is unconscionable. I'm not having it. So first thing we're going to do is copy the Ethiopians and build a heavy rail line the length of Lagos State, from Badagry all the way to Odeomi, with branches going off to every exit point by road of Lagos. And the point with this is that all of these exit points must have container terminals where the trains will pass through Apapa and Ibafor and deposit their goods at those container terminals so that people coming from out of state, which is quite common, will not clog up the roads in Lagos with their trailers.
On his part, the Alliance for Democracy wants youth to be active in governance. Mr. Owolabi Salis explained that his government will take up the challenge of the less privileged in society while creating jobs for the teeming population.
I want to practice grassroots governance system in Lagos State. If I get in, I want to set up Ward Executive Council. I want to put in stakeholders as special assistants to the governor. And I want to appoint leadership among them, release their common wealth to them, and then teach them how to fix the neighborhood, how to generate wealth among the people. We have the tools. I personally have a tools depository. I have a tools depository with me. We are going to tool them up, teach them a lot of things, how to make the neighborhood fine, and we are going to remove all the violent brigades in Lagos State. And on the issue of so many aircrafts landing, I think I heard you say that. I happen to have traveled to more than half of the countries in this world. I think Nigeria, Lagos is still not getting enough. So we need to open Lagos to the world. Lagos is the image of African nations, African black people. It should not be governed the way we're governing it. So I am over that to open this Lagos to the greater world.
And finally, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Lagos, Mr. Jimmy Agbaje, condemned the present health policy in use in the state. He added that there is urgent need to equip all primary health centers across Lagos.
Life expectancy for Lagos is about 49 years, below the national average, and we're in the bottom half of 36 states in terms of life expectancy. We must look at our health differently. And I am one for the managed care concept, which is generally known as the health insurance model. And basically what you're doing is to keep the doctors, to keep the pharmacists, to keep the lab scientists and all members of the health team, is to make it work. And the way to work is to say that you're running a scheme that revolves around the general practitioner, that is the GP. Now, you are going to employ the services of the GP. Your citizens are going to determine the choice of their GP. It is your duty as government to write a check, an insurance like a premium on their behalf, and be the regulator. It is not government that will participate, because what the GPs are handling will be primary health care. And don't forget that primary health care is responsible for 70 to 75% of the ailments that we come across in the state. So if you're able to address 75% of those issues at the GP level, running a health insurance model, then you then go on to the specialist aspect of it, where you now know that a lot of the pressure is off the teaching hospitals. What you have today is that people have malaria and they go to LASUT. It should not be so in a system that works.